Hey guys, been a while, I know, let's just pretend that I've been here the whole time. Welcome to the first episode of What Your Keyboard Says About You, where I'll be breaking down and stereotyping your personality type and traits solely based on what keyboard you use. Nobody is safe whether you own a Razer keyboard or the best custom keyboard in the world. I will attack you and your whole family. And of course, disclaimer, this is just a joke. I don't actually care what keyboard you use, it's just banter, so please don't take this video seriously. Alright, with keyboard number 1, we have the infamous Blackwidow from Razer. Everybody knows about this keyboard, some love it, some absolutely hate it, but if you own this keyboard, you probably fall under one of these categories. Number 1, you are an adult with adult money, and you just want a keyboard that's pretty decent, and Razer just so happened to be a keyboard that's pretty decent and sounds pretty nice and also looks pretty on your desk. Number 2, you are a die-hard gamer who plays at least one of these competitive online video games, and you really like Razer because of its RGB design. You also believe that Razer's keyboards will somehow let you play somewhere outside of silver, which it won't. But you can't really blame them because Razer's marketing team is just way too good at their job. They're on something. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it out. If you need proof, look no further than Razer's website. They're calling their rotary knob a command dial. Full-blown battle station immersion. Razer is so good at coming up with these fancy names that they took wireless Bluetooth technology and called it hyperspeed. What the hell is hyperspeed? And you can't even be mad. Whether or not you like Razer's products, hyperspeed is a dope ass name. If I was 13 and they released hyperspeed products, I'd be all over that. Number 3, you are a teenager or a young kid that's still in school and your parents bought this for you as a gift. You're also probably kind of edgy and you also own other peripherals that have RGB as well. Your Instagram feed and your TikTok For You page is full of edgy humor as well. And your favorite game right now is either probably Valorant or Minecraft. Alright, number 4, you own the Pro version because you wanted the best keyboard experience possible, and that is the most expensive keyboard, so you went straight for that one when you should have instead just bought a custom keyboard instead. Number 5, you own the Tournament Edition and you play some video game very competitively, probably a first-person shooter. You probably have like a large mouse pad the size of a whole country, your monitor is like an inch away from your face so you can smell the pixels, and you always set up your keyboard at like some sort of 45-degree angle to make it more ergonomic when it's really not. And the last category is that you're either an e-girl or an e-guy that spends way too much time on Discord, and bonus points if you own the Razer Kraken headset with the cat ears. Alright, keyboard number 2, we have the GK61 or some sort of like very cheap keyboard. This is probably the most common keyboard enthusiast we have within the community, and if you're a keyboard enthusiast right now, this is probably where it all started for you. This is a place you start off with when you either have a very tight budget or you're just starting off with learning about custom keyboards. You probably just modded one of your existing keyboards, or you got this keyboard from a friend, or you bought a cheap DIY kit from Banggood, KBD Fans, or Amazon. These boards are like the typical under $50 price range with like pre-lube switches. This is the make or break point for any keyboard enthusiast, and it's usually where people will stop once they've already sort of invested enough into a keyboard, or if they want to continue down the path of degeneracy. Alright, the KBD67 Lite, probably one of the most basic boards out there. I definitely contributed to a lot of the hype regarding this board, my bad. But if you own this board, I'm sorry. You're just basic. You are an NPC, a non-playable character. You wanted the most value out of your keyboard while having something that's not too out there or too expensive, but in the end, again, it's just basic. You probably also watched tons of videos about the board before making your final decision. You wanted a keyboard that was reliable, a good option, but something that wouldn't break the bank, and I can respect that. Alright, I've lowered my mic for this one. 40% daily drivers piss me off, and here's why. I'm fully convinced that all of you that main 40% are in some kind of cult or own like a 40% religion, and I'm not a part of it. I wasn't invited to the group chat. I was that one friend that they made a group chat without. I'm fully convinced. Every single 40% I have met have stood on a hill and are prepared to die to defend why their keyboard is great when it is clearly bad. You're paying more for less keyboard. You guys try to also make it seem reasonable, like, oh, it takes up less space or it's more ergonomic. You're typing on a chocolate bar. Either you just really like getting absolutely nothing done and not being productive at all, or you like posting your 40% keyboard all over your Instagram feed. But this is the one part that's really cool. Like 40% keyboard owners will go all out on their keyboard. Like, it's all or nothing. Like, either they don't own it or their 40% keyboard is absolutely stacked. And the 40% keyboard will have like only artisans or the numbers, or have some sort of theme, and then the mouse pad that goes with it goes with the theme, or like their wallpaper. It's like all extremely aesthetic, which is really cool. There's always that one girl in your class that has a really aesthetic notebook, and for every topic it's like color coded with like a highlighter and like a really nice cursive font at the top, and your notes are all highlighted nicely. It all has a theme, and 40% keyboard owners give me that same vibe. I get teleported back a few years. 40% keyboards are like fine dining. You get overall less food, less calories, but you pay for the work that goes into it, the craft, the beauty, the experience. I hate fine dining. So split keyboard users or ergonomic keyboard users are kind of like within the same realm of 40% keyboard people. It's a very specific niche, but their niche is a bit more practical and functional, something I can sort of respect a little bit more. They probably have like an ergonomic office chair, a standing desk, their monitors are like set up at the perfect height so they can watch their favorite hot tub streams. It ergos hard. But again, everything is designed to be comfortable. But how much comfort is too much comfort? Where do you cross the line of comfort to just being too comfortable? At the lowest level, you probably have just like a wrist rest to make sure you're comfortable, like to make sure your wrists don't hurt while you're typing. That's kind of chill. At the highest level, you ever seen a Wall-E? You know, those floating chairs? That's like peak ergonomics. The monitor is perfect height. Like, it's just the perfect distance. You don't have to move to like select a menu and stuff. So, you know, why stop here when you can be that guy? That's peak right there. That's you might not like it, but that's optimal ergonomics. That's the dream right there. But yeah, similar to the 40% owners, these guys are proud of their ergonomics. They're gonna be like, ooh, look at this, my keyboard is so round. Ooh, I don't get wrist pain, idiots. But yeah, if you own an ergonomic keyboard, you're probably like a coder, editor, or like a day trader, someone who needs to spend an enormous amount of time in front of the computer, and you're just looking out for your long-term health, which I can totally respect. And of course, we gotta talk about the Keychron Q1. From my experience, you can boil down the Q1 to two different types of users. And the first type is, of course, the normies. Now, as the name implies, the normies, they're just casual. They're just chilling. They're just here for the ride. They don't really have any opinions, just going with the flow. Whatever's trendy is trendy, they'll buy it. They're an NPC, but the good kind. Like an NPC that gives really good quests, or like the villager that gives mending. You know, the villager that you really, really like. And for the next half, we have the modders. These guys only bought the Q1 because they wanted to get the Satisfaction 75, but they either missed their group buy or they don't have enough money to afford it. They're so in denial, in fact, they will do every mod possible known to man to make this look and sound as good as possible, to make them forget that they couldn't get the board that they actually wanted. And you can do all of that, but again, it won't change the fact that you don't own a Satisfaction 75. And that's okay, because I want one too. And for the last board, we have the Satisfaction 75. If you have this board, oh, it's cold.